would you have to give up 32, 34 to get DK Metcalf?
I'm not doing
and
that.
Would you be willing to do that? I wouldn't either.
I guarantee you, Amon-Ra St. Brown plays 4 years longer than DK Metcalf.
How
I would
about
even go
Debo?
5 or 6. DK is a huge personality. Like, DK is a personality out there, man. And he's a stud, and he lets you know on the field and off the field. He's kind of that. We'll point to you and tell you if he was open. He's a guy, hey, man, come to me and do that. And I don't think Russell's ever had that. I don't think they've ever seen that personality at the wide receiver position. And I don't think they're comfortable with it per se. Now there's a chance for them to adapt and get used to it if they don't want to get rid of him and trade him because they know how good he is on that field. But that's one thing I could see is they've never had that. And maybe it might not be comfortable for them.
Remember Pete Carroll, the interview?
Yeah.
He took his shirt off.
Right.
When the interview, I mean,
Yeah.
I love DK Metcalf. I was a Seahawk guy. I love rooting for that team. I'd welcome him on my team any day.
Well, is he up for grabs? That's one of the rumors that are out there.
The Jets wanted him. He said no.
Teams are calling Seattle about trading for wide receiver DK Metcalf. That's per Ian Rappaport. And then DK Metcalf then quote tweeted that and said, haven't heard anything. Per DK Metcalf 14.
What he doesn't understand.
He's his own source.
That was funny, but what he doesn't understand is these conversations go on all the time. You just may not know about it.
Yeah. And so what would it take? Apparently the New York Jets tried to trade for him.
They offered him the number 10 pick overall to get him. Seattle turned it down.
That's an incredible number. So you'd be sitting there at 9 and 10
Yep.
for the Seattle Seahawks for one wide receiver?
That you don't use a lot.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He is a 24-year-old stud. What would it take? And
1, 3. I say a 1 and a 3 or 1 and a good and a damn good player. You're looking at 10 in this draft, and you're like, is there anybody in this draft that I'm willing to get up for DK Metcalf per se? Because it's still a guess. It's still a gamble, and that's actually what I wanted to talk about when we talked about DK Metcalf maybe to the Detroit Lions at 32 and what they could potentially give up. I think it's got to be a first and a third. It's got to be a first and a damn good player right now because you're looking at the 10. Let's go back to, I guess, to start with pick 10. It's all question marks. We talked about this draft.
Drake London.
But you don't know if he's proven. He's like DK Metcalf is a young, proven stud. Now, you know what the NFL, you know what any draft is, Maz? It's all potential.
Right.
It's all potential. This person has the potential. If you put him in the system, he has the potential to be this. Well, DK Metcalf is that already.
Here's what you have.
And he's still young.
Here's what you have. You've got 5 of the top 97 players in the draft. You've got 2, 32, 34, 66, and 97. What would it take to get DK Metcalf? Because you're not giving up 2. So you would have to do some sort of combination of 32, 34, 66, and 97. 32, 34, 66, 97. What are you giving up? What do you think legitimately, if the number 10 pick isn't getting it done, what would it be? 32, 34? Would you have to give up 32, 34 to get DK Metcalf?
I'm not doing
and
that.
would you be willing to do that? I wouldn't either.
I think you have to be willing enough to give 32 and a third rounder and maybe 32 and a really good player. Because I something about having that really good player. Now let's just stick with draft picks. 32, third round pick. 30, maybe 32 this year. Maybe 32 this year and your third round pick the following year.
32 and 66 this year. I mean, I'm not sure where that lines up, but I almost think it would take 32 and 34 to get DK Metcalf. And I guess I would do it at that spot because, I mean, DK Metcalf is 24 years old. He could be with your franchise for the next 6 to 8 years.
That's only problem too, though, man, is those big wide receivers, the big bulky guys. I was one at one point, but don't last as long as the smaller guys, the shorter guys, the guys get drafted. Like a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like he'll never be what DK Metcalf is, like as a physical specimen. I guarantee you, Amon-Ra St. Brown plays 4 years longer than DK Metcalf. I would even go 5 or 6. Debo Samuel.
Is he up for grabs?
He's not a tall guy, though. Debo's like a smaller guy, but even that has A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's a guy already.
They're talking about maybe dealing him.
What is his every other week? A.J. Brown, my knee hurts. I was dealing with this year.
He's not reliable.
Taller, bigger receivers, they deal with that. So
I know, but he's not good if he's not playing. You know,
When he plays, he's
Ability
good.
is a talent. Is a skill.
availability.
Availability.
When
I
he
always say
plays,
it
he's
wrong.
good for 2 touchdowns a game.
I agree, but are you playing 10 games a year? And I'd have to go back, but it seems like every time I watch the Titans, he's not playing.
He played in that playoff game.
No, he did.
actually did good,
He's
man.
a great player. I'm not saying he's
No,
not.
to
I'm
you,
just-
but yeah.
I take him.
Yeah, I know you would.